So now the new main event of the card after Cyril Gane and Anthony Delicia's fight was cancelled. This is Katlyn Chookagian versus Jessica Andrade. Now this is a very interesting fight because Jessica Andrade is coming up a weight class, and there is a fair bit of unknown when a fighter moves up or down in the weight class in terms of how the power translates, how they how does the range and reach kind of affect? How does the submission game come into picture, considering the fact that the opponents could have longer limbs and so on and so forth? So let's dive into it. Let's talk about Chookagian first. Chookagian is coming off of a very dominant performance against Antonina Shevchenko, where she took her down repeatedly and dominated on the ground. It's ironic in a way because that's how Valentina Shevchenko, who's Antonina's sister, dominated Chookagian and finished her in Chookagian's title bid. Now, Chookagian is 5'9" and has a 68-inch reach, and she'll probably have 8-inch of height and 6-inch of reach advantage against Jessica Andrade. Chookagian's output is clearly more than the UFC average, but is significantly less than Jessica Andrade, where she throws hooks without counting them. Chookagian throws some unconventional strikes like side kicks to the face, side kicks to the chest. She throws a lot of feints and fakes to confuse her opponents. She always cuts her angles and does not head back in straight lines, which is a sign of a high IQ fighter. Additionally, she moves in opposite direction of the power side of her opponents, lowering the chance of any fight-ending blows, which will be a key against Andrade, who's a powerhouse. Chookagian has decent ground game and should be able to create scrambles to get back up on her feet in case Andrade is able to take her down. Andrade will definitely have strength advantage, but how much of that will translate against Chookagian is yet to be seen. Now let's talk about Andrade. Andrade is coming off of 2 consecutive losses, losing her title to Zhang Weili in a dramatic fashion and then dropping a split decision to Rose. So Andrade decided to move up a weight class to, shuffle things a little bit. Now, this is not the first time Andrade is going to be fighting taller and bigger women. She has previously competed not in the flyweight, but in the bantamweight division when the flyweight division wasn't even there. And even though her record is 4-2 in bantamweight and 7-3 in strawweight, all the 3 losses in the strawweight has come to current or former champions. In bantamweight, she's had losses against, not the cream of the competition. So what it tells you is that Andrade's ceiling was definitely really high in strawweight, but not so high at bantamweight. Now we got to see what will it be at the flyweight division. So Andrade had an extremely high output, as I alluded to, at about 6.5 strikes landed per minute, but she also absorbs about 5.8 strikes a minute. And she has the cardio to keep that output, and we saw that in the Namajunas fight where she came back strongly in the 3rd round to actually wobble Rose. Andrade's striking accuracy against taller fighters such as Namajunas and Joanna Jędrzejczyk were 34% and 38% respectively. However, the corresponding stats against Karolina Kowalkiewicz, Tisha Torres, Claudia Gadelha, who are much closer to Andrade's height, were 52%, 51%, and 58%. So what you can see is against taller opponents, her accuracy kind of drops, and Chookagian is 3 to 4 inches taller than Namajunas. So we can probably see that there could be something that we're onto here. Now, one of the ways Andrade can dominate is by repeated takedowns. But I think due to Chookagian's long limbs, it would be hard to take her down for one. And then even if she takes her down, I feel Andrade will have a hard time to control and Chookagian is well versed in the ground game. He trains with John Danaher and the whole team in the East Coast, and I think she will be able to hold her own in the grappling. So, in order to summarize, Jessica Andrade is a gamer with powerful striking and a really good ground game. However, she faces Katlyn, who is long and rangy, utilizes a lot of movement and feints to confuse her opponents. Rose Namajunas showed the blueprint beating Jessica Andrade by being a mobile fighter. Chookagian, with such physical advantages and high fight IQ, should be a tough problem to solve. Andrade would look to utilize leg kicks to slow her down. However, I think Katlyn's size and movement will be too much for Jessica, and Chookagian will take this via decision.